Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've been doing a lot of thoughts since my last video, and if you haven't watched it, I'm gonna link that up here. And that basically has to do with how I'm gonna approach this whole influencer thing from now on. I think I've had a lot of rude awakenings since this whole lockdown started. All you can see is my roots, but I promise I still have some color. I finally booked in my hair for August 4th because that was the earliest they had. So August 4th, I'm gonna be popping some bleach roots. Anyway, today's video is, as you must have guessed, a full tutorial on Black-owned brands. I seen this happen sort of like a trend after the Black Lives Matter movement started, and I know that a lot of them were sort of performative, and I know that. I don't want to contribute to that, but I also wanted to do this as an experiment of my own because I don't think I had thought about it. I had looked like directly into my stash and thought about like how many products do I have that are Black owned, how diverse is my makeup stash. You may see this video as performative, and that's totally fine. I mean, it's up to anyone to interpret anything. But the reason I didn't launch this video just as everyone else did, it probably would have gotten a lot more views and would have been more smart, but I feel like what most people did was just go into their stash and figure out what they had that was Black owned. And I wanted to dig a little deeper because we all know, look, most of these tutorials were either Fenty or Pat McGrath. And first of all, those are kind of like big brands. And I don't know about Pat McGrath, but Fenty is definitely not, Rihanna does not have the majority of the brand, even though it is Black founded. I don't know if it can be considered Black owned. That being said, I'm gonna incorporate some Fenty products and I will explain. Basically, I just wanted to look up brands that were, first of all, accessible to the UK. And I am also gonna pin down in the comments a Twitter thread with loads of Black owned brands, either it be beauty, fashion, whatever. Basically, I wanted to do my own research and kind of look into new brands that I haven't even tried and maybe make this tutorial as kind of branched out as possible. I don't want to just include the big brands. Having that said, I am gonna feature a little bit of Fenty and actually want Pat McGrath product because usually indie smaller brands do not have the whole range, so I couldn't find any brand that would do a primer, and that's what I'm gonna start with. This is the Fenty Hydrating Primer. This is not gonna, I'm not gonna stop talking. I'm very chatty today, apparently. There are a few brands that I wanna give a shout out to that I'm not gonna be using in this specific video because I either did not have access to them, and those are Colored Rain, which I love, but somehow, I don't know why they stopped being stocked at Beauty Bay. So they still have like a few products of them, but they don't have the whole range. But I love all my Colored Rain products. The shadows are amazing, so pigmented. Another brand is Mented Cosmetics, which I've never tried but really want to. JD Glow, I do have some singles of them. They're absolutely insane, but again, there's not a UK stockist for them, but if you want to check them out, they do ship here. September Rose is also a brand from the UK that is Black owned. I definitely have one of their palettes on my wish list because it's gorgeous. But I am not gonna list two brands that are quite big, quite accessible to the UK, and I'm gonna explain why. I'm not gonna talk about Beauty Bakery. I have tried products from them, I have liked them. There has been a lot of scandal about how they treat their employees, basically. There's a lot of misogyny involved. I'm not gonna go into the drama, but you can look it up for yourself if you want. And from my point of view, there hasn't been a result to that, so I'm not using Beauty Bakery. And I'm also not gonna use Juvia's Place. It's been a problematic brand for a while, and I've tried to ignore it, to be honest. I do not like how they treated Christine from Temptalia, which is horrible because I loved her. She was like probably the first blogger that I got to know in terms of makeup and how they treat their customers and how they treat people on social media, blocking everyone that asks like a simple question or whatever. And that has just really rubbed me the wrong way. But I also don't think they apologized for what they did back then, and so I'm not gonna use them as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go into the foundation. I think that's all the disclaimers I have to say for now. That was like probably a whole video of disclaimers, but anyway. So I'm gonna be using UOMA Beauty, and this is the first time I'm gonna be using this foundation. I've had it for a while, but I have so many foundations open that I'm just trying to get through to them. But this felt like a really good moment to kind of open it up. So this is the Say What? That is literally but it says weightless soft matte hydrating foundation. It sounds perfect for me. I got shade matched at one of their counters in Selfridges. So this is my shade, White Pearl T1N, and this is the lightest shade. It's quite liquid. I'm gonna start applying, and this blends seamlessly into skin. I do have like a little bit of a tan right now, so this is a little bit on the pale side, but it's definitely my shade. It doesn't have like amazing coverage from the get-go, so we'll see if we can build up on that. And they have beautiful palettes as well. They have an amazing range. They have an amazing range for their foundations. Having that said, I know there are people that are paler than me, and if you are paler than me, then probably you won't find your exact match. This is as light as they go, but it is really light. I'm not talking right. What is happening? You can definitely build it up to a medium coverage. I am gonna go with a concealer in some parts, but this is a lovely finish. I'm also gonna use their concealer. Here's where things get dicey, because this is their lightest concealer, which is White Pearl T1, but their lightest concealer is definitely darker than their lightest foundation. And this happens a lot in beauty brands, so especially because under eyes are supposed to be lighter, I'm gonna mix a little bit of the two, maybe. You know what, I'm just gonna do this, and then maybe, because I am a little bit tan, I think I can get away with this. Okay, I'm gonna blend the concealer with the foundation. First of all, to get a truest match to my shade right now, but also to get a little bit more coverage. So that is my only no. The texture seems not too matte, which is the only thing that I don't like about the Fenty. Fenty goes really fair, like pale as fair. Their concealer is way too matte for under eyes, so I can't apply it to like my pimples and everything, but I can apply it under eyes because it just looks like Sahara Desert. As you know, I love a natural finish, so this not having full coverage does not bother me. Okay, now we're gonna go back to Fenty because I do love their powder. OPV also does a beautiful loose powder, but Fenty is just really good. This is Lavender and this is Butter, soft butter. Poured powder all over me. I'm powdered like a little baby. Anyway, I usually use butter. Today I'm gonna be using butter everywhere, and then under my eyes I'm gonna be using a little bit of lavender to see if you can brighten the shiz up. I don't like to bake a lot, so I just dip my sponge, do this, and then go over with the rest because I don't want to be super matte. Butter, just go over the rest of the T-zone. And for brows, I'm also gonna go UOMA Beauty. I do think they have more than one brow pencil, but the one that I chose was Baby Hair. It's one of those super fine pencils, and this is their lightest shade 1. What was the hardest for me to find was actually a clear brow gel. It is on the waxy side, and the shade is also a warm kind of blonde, which will go great with my peachy hair. It's lovely because it's not overly buttery, so it doesn't go like everywhere, but it's still really pigmented. I did get the UOMA brow gel, which has tint in it. Yeah, this is one of those like little thingies. I don't know if this is gonna be like a super thick formula. I hope not. So the formula is not super thick, but it does pack a lot of punch. It does even out the kind of warmness at the end of it, but I did pressure a little too hard in the beginning, so I'm gonna have to kind of go around that. Okay. This is gonna be my eye primer. This is from DANESSA MYRICKS. I think that's how you say it. I've wanted to try this for a while, this specific formula, because I saw Bailey Sarian once use like a pink version of this, but for this tutorial I thought the Rustic was gonna be the best color. So this is basically a matte liquid shadow. It is accessible through Beautylish, and so they do offer free shipping though, and you don't have to pay taxes. They incorporate that into the checkout. Whoa, I'm gonna use it as a lid primer and then top up, but you can definitely use this as a liner. Also, DANESSA is a makeup artist herself, so you might want to check her Instagram page as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna buff it out a little just so it doesn't have any jagged edges. So it takes a while to set, which is good. It's workable. The color is insane. Also, this is, I'm applying this to eyes, but this is like an all over color pigment, I think. I'm just gonna go briefly, like just with a little bit of leftover under eyes. The palette we're gonna be using today is Oshun from OPV Beauty. I've had this for a while. It's so pigmented. It is beautiful. I can't even begin to describe this. Y'all know I'm gonna have to go for this orange somewhere, somehow. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but bear with me because we're gonna power through this. They're a UK-based company. Their pigments are amazing and their palettes are just out of this world. I've used their Emoji palette in another one of my tutorials that I'm now blanking out, but if I find it, I'm gonna link it here. But their Emoji palette is also amazing, but the color story in this is just... First, I'm gonna go with Aura. This is really close to the Rustic color. I really want to use Coral just for its texture because it's foiled to the gods. So this is sort of like a gold-ish. Yeah, it's a gold. And I'm gonna play my finger. Oh my god, look! It's kind of like an antique gold, sort of greenish and muted in a way, which makes me really like it. It's like butter. You can't put your finger too deep because it will just create a hole. That sounds dirty, and I know, but I don't know how. Pat that in to make sure there's no fallout from that. We're gonna go a little into it. It's neon. It is neon. And I'm gonna do the inner corner. My words. So this color, I had swatched before. A little chalky. It's not unblendable, but I think it could benefit from a little primer underneath. I'm gonna apply a little bit of the eye primer, just so you can see a difference. So this primer is pretty much invisible, but it's really good because it's kind of sticky. So this is without the primer. You're seeing through skin. This is with the primer. It's a lot more packed, a lot more intense. I'm gonna drag it out just a bit. I'm gonna go again into Aura and I'm gonna mix it with Mystic. I think Mystic might be a bit too dark, but two of them together might work as just a little bit of definition here on the crease. I'm gonna top a little bit with the Coral foiled shadow because I really want that foiled look. I got my lashes from Beauty Bay and they're the Ace Beauté or Ace Beauté. I don't know how they want to be spelled. Harmonia and Camilla. These are the two lashes that I picked out. And I think I'm gonna go with Camilla. A little bit less Pam, but still pretty wowy, and they're wispy and everything that I love. Ace Beauté or Ace Beauté are amazing as well. Their palettes are so pigmented. Oh shit, I forgot to apply mascara. No. The Fenty mascara is a tricky thing because it's one that I don't love. I would never use it on its own because I feel like it's not strong enough to hold up my lashes. My lashes are very stubborn, but it is great under fake lashes because it doesn't lift my lashes a lot. So it's just a great prep for them to just be tinted and just add a little depth. I suck at applying lashes, so... Oh shit, it turned upside down. What am I doing? By the way, makeup is not like riding a bike. I stopped wearing makeup for like a month and now I can't do anything. See, this works great on my lower lashes because they're already curved. And I do love the formula. I'm so hungry. We're going to be moving on to cheeks. And I have a few products for cheeks, so I'm not really sure on what to use first. First, from Iman Cosmetics, we have this luxury blushing powder duo. And I do want to use this a little bit. We also have this, which I really want to use. This is the Vision Flush. The shade is Nutcracker. This is again from DANESSA MYRICKS. And it is basically an all-over pigment, but it's just like, it looks like a lipstick. And it shears out a little bit. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just apply a little tiny bit to my sponge and see what happens. You can use it as a lipstick like that as well, which is beautiful. Just to give my cheeks some dimension and then use the blush. You can definitely build this up, but it's a lovely texture. The Fenty bronzer, which I could have used as well, is a little bit more open, more warm. And so I'm gonna use that a little bit just to give a sun-kissed effect here. That was more of like a contour shade maybe for me. And then this as a little brightening up. I'm gonna go then into the Eamon blush, and I'm gonna focus that on the apples on my cheeks. It's the color Allure. I'm just gonna swirl a little bit, but I'm gonna be focusing more on the upper part and then just swirl a little. Because I wanna give just like a little bit of a flush. They do have a UK website, which is really handy. They'll deliver it really fast as well, which is nice. And they have a really nice product. They're a little bit more, I would say, conventional beauty than, you know, Instagram beauty. But look at that. So for highlighter, I'm gonna be using the only Pat McGrath product that I was just gonna use the Fenty Pearl stick because I love it and it's so dewy. Like, oh my god, it's so dewy. But again, I didn't want to overload this video with Fenty. Skin Fetish highlighter and balm duo. This is the shade Nude, which is the lightest shade. And so you have a little balm of highlighter here, and then you have a shiny balm here, like a dew balm. I'm gonna go first with the highlighter a little bit, and then with the balm. The packaging obviously is Lush. Everything that Pat McGrath does is Lush, expensive but beautiful. I really like to try her foundation, but I have not had the chance, have the courage to spend that money. I heard that it's really good. Okay, so this gives a little bit of a beautiful glow. It does look dewy, but it's not. So if you don't like dewy highlighter, you can just use this part. But you know me, I love a dewy highlighter. So I'm gonna use the other part as well, just a little touch me up on top. This I'm gonna go with my finger here and just, oh, it's so dewy. Oh, it's so dewy. Oh, I love this. In comparison to the Pearl stick from Fenty, this is completely clear, while the Fenty one does have a little bit of shine, but when you put it onto the skin, you can't barely see it. So I'm a little sad that I don't have freckles. But I don't think there's any black-owned freckle products, although I might use this lip liner. This is again from Eyeshadow Cosmetics. This is their Perfect Lip Pencil in the shade Tan. Oh, that might work. Okay. I wish they had a lighter version of this, but I am gonna line my lips with it. Oh my god, this is hella pigmented. Super creamy. I'm gonna go look into a lipstick right now because I could use that DANESSA MYRICKS one thingy. But I actually got a package from Eyeshadow Cosmetics. I don't know if that's how you say it. I hope so. Oh no, I have lip liners as well here. This is definitely a little lighter. Okay, so that lip liner I just applied from Eyeshadow Cosmetics is Cairo, and this is the Cairo lipstick. Look at that. My. Beautiful, I love this. Oh shit! See, if I was a good blogger, I would have nailed this down. Because they also sent me a Cairo nail polish. And I love the packaging of this nail polish, it's everything. But I didn't. But I actually do have nail polish that is black owned, and I wanna show you. Ah. This is from Pillbox Cosmetics. They sent me 3 ones, and one of them is, and the other one was made specifically for me. It's called Raquel. Look at it, so cute. This is just a beautiful color. I just thought for this look, I wanted a nude so that it could go in anything, but apparently I had the Cairo one. This is, the shade is Aurora, I think is how you say it. I'm gonna link them down below as well because they have beautiful colors. They have a green that I really wanna try, and the formula is out of this world. It is one of the most liquid yet opaque formulas I've tried. Like nudes especially are usually so sheer. This is so opaque. It is beautiful. If you know of more black owned brands, especially UK, either based or accessible, please let me know. There's also still tons of petitions going that need your signature for the Black Lives Matter movement. So if you haven't gotten down to it, I'm gonna link them down below as well. I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. That's it. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the little bell button so you know every single time I upload. Let me know what you want to see more from me. Oh my god, my hair is like freaking me out, so I'm gonna sign out like this because I don't like my other side. Peace. No, I'm not gonna do that. Bye.